Hello everyone and welcome. Today we explore a topic that affects all ages, genders and backgrounds in Tanzania and the world in general. Self-esteem and body image. In our modern society, where societal expectations and social media influences our perception on our self-esteem and body image, it is essential for us to discuss in depth on this topic. With 87% of women and 65% of men comparing themselves to images they consume online every day, it is important for us to have a positive dialogue so as to promote self-love, self-acceptance, and a clear state of mind. It is easy for someone to want to change the way they look so as to fit in a society. We say stop, breathe, and listen as we hear a team of experts, personal opinions, discuss on this matter and explore initiatives that will promote body positivity and mental well-being in Tanzania. Welcome.
Hello, I'm Justice Komba and this is Healing Joints, Justice Komba.
My name is Elizabeth Mbwambwo, a student at Herbert Kairuki Memorial University. I'm taking my Bachelor of Science in Nursing.
I'm Miss Tanyamelisa Barahona, a medical student at Herbert Memorial. Herbert Kairuki.
How do you feel to be here today?
Okay, I'm excited to be part of this healing journey today.
I'm feeling great today. I'm fine.
So, Miss Tanya, what motivated you to come today and share with us your story based on mental health?
The fact that most of the people in our society care less about mental health issues, that motivated me to come forth today.
Knowing that in this era that we are in, the mental health and the physical health has been really not well understood by the society. So it's an issue that needs to be addressed.
Thank you. Now, that brings me to a question. What do you understand by mental health?
On my own perception, I understand mental health as the state of being mentally good, like mentally at ease and at comfort. That is what I understand.
When we are talking about the mental health, we're talking in a general and broader view of not just absence of disease, but are you really well when we are talking of the emotional, the psychological part, the social part? Are you really okay in that matter? Don't you have something psychologically, emotionally that is really troubling your mind that cannot make you physically ill, but can make you mentally ill?
And can you tell us a little bit about your mental health journey?
I can say for the past 2 years, my mental health journey has been challenging. The daily basis, it was hard coping with them. The challenges I faced, the challenges I had to face at school, the challenges I had to face individually. It wasn't that great, but as for this year, I think God has been so good.
Can we go more specific on exactly what kind of challenges that you're facing?
Starting with the medical school, as itself, it's challenging. The stress you get, less time to rest, less time to socialize with the family, less time to be with friends. That itself is
very
stressful. And as an individual, the relationship part and how to deal with others socially. I'm more of an introvert, so that the challenge I get to speak to other people, to interact, to engage with others, as of course we are to engage in the medical field. It has been challenging. Like the judgment I get from people, why am I isolating myself? It's taken as I am isolating myself than me being myself. that was challenging, like so challenging.
I'm born in the family of 8 children. Quite challenging being raised up all together with different beliefs and characters. And while I was growing up, I think God I get a privilege to be among the smart kids, obedient kids, those kind of children who usually listen to what their parents tells them. And so personally, I usually felt that I'm all right in everywhere and that I will never face something that can really make me in trouble, until when one day I started not to do so well at school, and that really bring a really challenge to my whole family, because different stuff arose from my parents, from my siblings, and they all thought like either I've joined bad groups, or it's just like you are not supposed to be that way. You are loved, given everything. Why drop in and why? And at the same time, I was facing an election, I can say an election challenge at school, whereby I was appointed to be among people who will compete for a certain position, but I was not known. I was just in my year 2 of secondary school, and so I was not selected, and so I was confused. I remember I'm not doing well at school as I'm used to, and like I feel like nobody loves me, and I have nobody to tell, nobody will ever understand me, and such.
Being an introvert, is it that you feel the need to be alone all the time? Or is it that there are times when you want to interact with people, but then you just face difficulties in doing that? What does it really mean to be an introvert?
I think it's both.
It's both?
Yes, because I'm more comfortable with myself. I can spend the whole day inside and it doesn't bother me. And also, I face a difficult dealing with others. Because at times I find it exhausting, like going to the parties, or it's exhausting. After being there with people and I get back to my place, it feels so much exhausting, like drained all of my energy. So I'm more, and I like reading books and like having this, I can say, critical thinking things. So I do that when I'm alone. So when I get to be around people, I feel less of myself. Like I'm just obligated to be there, to be around. It's most difficult, and I really like being alone.
But then you can't be alone always.
Yeah, you can't.
So at times when you actually need to be with people, how have you been able to do that?
My schedule is known. Like it's me getting to church and it's me being at school. So when I'm at school, I just do my duties. If it's just being in class, I just tend to be in class. Having less friends, just those around me, 2 or 3. And apart from that, it's just me and reading. So, and when it comes to church, I just do my duties and I get less time with people. So.
And you said that you had a problem with people being judgmental?
Yeah, on it. Like, I can be around people, but I can talk less. I can be at home, even with my family sometimes, and just be in my room. So it's challenging because we know our norms is that you have to socialize, that's a must. But when it comes to me, it's like withdrawing myself from others. Like I can be around you people, but I'm quiet, just there observing you. And that, to most people, it's like me not wanting to interact with people, but it's not that way. I find myself like being there and interacting with you people, and you just want me to talk all the time. It's something that I can't do.
Do you have people who understand you?
Yeah. It was hard at first, my family. As of right now, they understand. And what helps is that I'm away from them. So when I get silent, they don't get surprised. And the friends I have are friends that they do really understand me, because I can be silent for weeks, even a month, and they won't judge me for it. Like, I can check them, and when I get to check them, they'll be just fine. When I get to talk to them, it's just that I have the right people around me. And it's so easy for me to talk to a person when it's, I can say, business oriented, than when a person just comes to me just chatting, like nothing important is there.
Right.
That is what I find more hard. But when somebody comes as the way you did, you were just like straight to the point. I want this and this, and that's the easiest way I find that I can work. Like, I can operate in that manner so easily.
Have you ever met with other introverts, other people who also?
Yeah, most of my friends are.
So you have your own chemistry.
Yeah. Like, we barely chat, and we find it so okay. And
So what do you do as friends? We're friends and we don't chat. What?
as friends, like, most of the part is that we are there for each other when we need each other, and that's what's important.
That matters.
Yeah, as I have one friend of mine whom, when I check him, the first thing he has, "Are you okay?" Because he knows. Like, we talk much when something is wrong. But I think that's, like, we find it more comfortable that way. Because we have got less words when there's nothing going on, like nothing to talk about. As how others do, just everyday mambo, umeamkaje. It's kind of tiring if there's nothing important. Yeah.
Now, I want to know how you were able to handle that challenge.
Okay, first, it really took a while for me to be fully able to handle that situation. When I was looking at my life, I wasn't really knowing the real reason, because I couldn't see what is wrong, but it was just happening. I went to church and I asked God for forgiveness, but it was not helping, and nothing changed even after that. So I decided to take a time and sit down by myself and critically think, what else can I do in this era to make me a valuable person once again? I started asking myself, is it real that I only have a bright mind at class, or do I have something else to do? And so, what if I will never be clever ever again? So, how am I going to live? So I started to find, what can I do? And there is where I realized my greatest potential, that I can really speak so well. And I realized that after I presented a speech at school about Africa, and from there the speech was very powerful, and it wasn't something that I prepared so much. So I then realized that, okay, so I can practice something else that I'm born with, something that is inside me, something that I don't do it with force, and it can really be productive to me. And so I started to sharpen that potential that was hiding within me. I sharpened it.
With that experience, what have you learned? What are like the 3 lessons that you have learned, according to your mental health experience, that you can share with us today? 3 things maybe.
Okay, so the first thing is that if you really focus on yourself, you will then know that whatsoever you are finding outside, it's not outside, it is in you. Whatsoever solution that you are finding outside, first, it is beginning with you. The solution of that thing is in you. You have just not taken a time to sit down with yourself personally and ask yourself that, where actually did you fail? Critically going through thoughts, you then really know that the solution you're finding is in you. That's one. The second thing is that I have then come to realize that the way we are thinking, the cognition of things and perception of things is what really brings a problem. And if you just manage to change the way that you think, you can manage to change the problem that you are facing. The bigness of the problem is in your mind, not outside. And this is the third thing that I'm going to talk about. The root source of the mental issue that we are facing is the perception, the way we perceive stuffs. And if you're facing probably a self-esteem problem, it's just your perception. What do you think when it comes to yourself? Do you think that you are able, you are capable, you got ability and power? It begins with you. Before doing anything, you first have to have a clear mind, a clear perception of it, that I am able and I'm capable to do this. Then that mentality will attract others to help you. If you don't have that, if yourself you are fearing, if yourself you are not capable of believing in yourself, then it is hard to make others believe you.
What have you learned from your experience?
So, from my experience, I just learned that we don't need to change to fit into the society. We just need to adapt some things when it's necessary, like do things when it's necessary. But when it's not that necessary for us to do them, we don't need to completely change just because the society wants us to be in a certain way. We should accept ourselves for who we are.
For someone else who perhaps they don't know that they're introverts, but they act the same way as you do. They like to be alone, they like to speak less, but then it is still giving them challenge, in their lives. They don't know how to live with that. They don't know if they should accept the way they are or they just should struggle to fit in, I don't like talking much, but then, I don't want to be seen as the weird or maybe a freak, then I just force myself to talk too much. So what do you tell them?
What I can say, what advise them is that the more you try to change, I think the more you become another person whom you won't recognize, and that is going to be another problem to you. So the real thing that this person should do is accept him or herself for who or she is, because in the society we have different varieties, and that's for a reason. And being an introvert doesn't mean that you won't reach your potential. It's just you knowing what's your purpose and linking it with why you're an introvert. Because if you change, that means you're changing your whole life, and you won't achieve what you're meant to achieve.
Yes. So you're trying to be someone you're not.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very nice. Now, do you think the way you are, your experience has impacted you in other areas of your life?
One thing I like about it is that I keep the less important people out of my life, because sometimes we get to have friends who are of less effect in our lives, and the fact that I spend less time with people, it makes only the important ones to be in my life, and that is what I like about myself. And the bad thing about it, or the disadvantage about it, is that at first it was so hard for me when I'm in trouble to get help, because I was so scared. I was like trying to analyze the disadvantages of me like going out to trust people and tell my issues. I can say that was the disadvantage of it.
Let's talk about relationships.
Yeah.
Now, how is that for you?
So, I tend to, the person I'm dating or the person I'll be dating, is that I should know this person for a long time. That's the first thing. And if not knowing them for a long time, then somebody close to me knows them. And from there, that person, as I said, I'm an observer. I choose the person whom I think I can get along with a bit, even a bit. Because not talking or not interacting is something that most people find it uncomfortable. And if I'm not so interactive and this person wants me to hang out with his friends, it will be an issue. But if this person understands me, then it's something that I can deal with. But it has been a challenging issue in a relationship, because I sometimes get a hard time expressing myself. Like, if there is an issue, the way to express it out, it's challenging. And yeah, the only person who understood me, or who still understands me way better, is my sister. So at some point, relationships are challenging.
Very challenging.
Yeah.
Now, can you tell us a little bit what do you understand by self-esteem, what do you understand by body image, and how do they relate to each other?
Many people understand that self-esteem is all about confidence and trusting in yourself, but it's a little bit broader, talking about confidence, trusting in yourself, respect to yourself, respecting others, and achievement. And when we're talking about body image, it's a way that somebody looks, somebody's body is perceived, either himself or herself and others.
What do you think influences, self-esteem and body image?
As a lady, we tend to be confident by how the society says about us. So this, what's the society, or I can specifically say men say about how we look, that influences us on our self-esteem and the body image. That is one of the factors. And the other one is how our friends, like the female friends around us.
Peer pressure.
Yeah, the peer pressure, I can say. So those are, I can say, the two great factors that can influence how we see ourselves as women.
Now, good question. As an introvert, what a guy says about your body, does it bother you?
At first it did, but right now it doesn't.
So even though you don't want to talk to the guy, you don't want to socialize with the guy, but what he has to say about you would still...
Yeah, I would. So at first, like they would come with this recommendation on how I should dress and how my body should be. And at first it was so hard to accept it, to just say that I don't care about the words and I am who I am. It was hard to do that.
You like a body.
And now, yeah.
Then
I was like, I have to change so that they can accept me. But after talking to my friends and giving it a deep thought, I saw it as nothing. Like, I shouldn't care. I should care less about what they say about me and my body. It's mine, and I am the one who should be confident about it. Apart from being a medical student, I sometimes do part-time gigs as a model. So doing branding and some other stuff as a model. So as a model in Tanzania, I can say they picture models in a different way, depending on where we work. So some of them, they want you to have the hourglass shape. And I'm not like that. So you'll find that either a lady or a man coming to me, Tanya, you should dress this way. Tanya, you should have your body, like, you should eat much, you should gain weight. You're too slim for yourself. And they will come to me straight with words saying that to me.
there's this issue of the society. There is what we call the societal beauty standards. You see, that, maybe a beautiful woman should look like this, or should be like this, should have this, should have that. Now, I want you to tell me, how has that affected you as a person, but also how do you think these society standards affect other people?
Okay, starting from me as a person, in my family we are 4 girls and 4 boys. All girls are white except me. You can really understand how that was a trauma to me. And the moral standard of, I can say the word is that for a girl to be beauty, the girl has to be white. And as you see, I'm not white, but for sure, being born in a family that everybody is white, every girl is white except me, was giving me a hard time that does it really mean that I'm not beautiful? I then realized that what is making you beautiful is not really how you physically look. I know that the physical appearance adds value to us. That's why we wear smart and we become smart. But the body image in our society is perceived as among things that can really define the beauty, how you look. You should look presentable with a good body and good shape. And if you are a man, then you should have the broad muscles. The gentleman should really be tall. And so that has really led to a trouble and a mental trauma to those who they think they perceive less to that society standards. I can refer something to the Bible. The Bible says that, I can say it, I refer it in Kiswahili, that mwanamke mzuri asiye na akili ni sawa na pete ya dhahabu kwenye pua ya nguruwe. You see how harsh is that? So kumbe unaweza kuwa mzuri alafu usiwe na akili, alafu ukawa tu kama pete ya dhahabu kwenye pua ya nguruwe, which is removing all that value that you had.
My own view is that the beauty standard should be based on what the woman thinks of herself, not about what other people say or the society says. Everyone is beautiful in our own skin, and I hate putting on makeup, but that doesn't make me less beautiful. So the beauty standards should be based on what the woman feels comfortable in. If you want to put on makeup 24 hours, that's on you. And if you feel so confident in it about it, that's fine. But if somebody else feels confident not having it on, it's okay too.
Now, to our last question. So I want you to tell others, apart from what you did, what else do you think they can do in order to improve their own self-esteem and develop a positive body image? But also, how can you promote body positivity and acceptance in our society?
Okay, so to us, especially to us women, that has really become a problem to our society, because when you're talking of a woman, you're talking, you cannot leave the component of beauty when you're talking of a woman. So what should you do? I think this is very important, to accept yourself. Just making sure that unajikubali the way you are. I don't think if changing your color is among the best solution that you can do, but accepting your color is among the best solution that you can do. And instead of changing your color, then change your perspective. If you think white is beauty, make it white inside. Make it white by accepting the color that you have on inside, and make your inside pure and productive to others. And whatever body image that you have and you are in does not really define how productive and how successful you will be in life. There's a difference between a want and a need. We want you to be beautiful, but we need the valuable stuff that you are producing. So look in life, what else do you have? What potential do you have in you that you can provide into the world and add value to the world that we are currently living in? Eat well. Don't stress your life unnecessarily. Make sure that you appear smart whenever you look. May you be positive on others and you, and smile. That is enough.
Like this is just a body of which will die, and it means nothing, like, for real. And we can get sick with it. Like, you can work 100 times on your skin, but you die tomorrow, you don't know that. So if you're so confident in who you are, for who you are, then that's fine. The important thing is just to make sure you're healthy, like you're in the healthy state.
I'm Elizabeth, and this is my story. I hope it helps you finding your mental healing journey.
I'm Tanyamelisa, and this is my story, and I hope you find your own healing journey. Thank you.